Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another week of your weight loss journey. I don't know. We're going to experiment with the feel a little bit of this. See how it goes. So, hello. I like seeing your chat, seeing you in the chat. Good morning from Idaho. Morning, Ashley. Morning, Cindy from down in Argentina. I always love getting people from all over the world. I think this is so cool. We just get people from everywhere. Just had somebody in the guild join, I believe, from Australia. I believe I saw. I saw on a welcome post, which is super cool. All right, let's see who else is here. Yes, the usual group. Good to see you. Hey, everybody that's in the guild, starting today, we're doing a new meeting format. 15-minute grounding sessions, we're going to call them. You just show up, you get centered, you get focused. Maybe that'll be a little easier to escape from your day. Right? For 15 minutes, come in, get centered, get focused, get out, get back to your day. So we're going to do, I got 2 of them today. Once I do the 2 of them, I'm going to throw the rest of them on the schedule and we'll see how that goes. So anyway, how are you? How are you, everybody? We're going to do celebrations later, but out of curiosity, tell me how this month's going. Have you lost any weight this month? Tell me in the chat over here if you've had any success with the weight going down this month. You know, lost any pounds. Again, the scale going down is not the end all be all, right? There are many people that are just as much progressing when the scale's not going down. Because, hey, we got to remember that maintenance is always a victory. Maintenance is always a victory. And actually, while we're doing that, let's get the whiteboard going. I will show one of my favorite visuals that really helped me in my journey to feel really good about what I was doing, about where I was at. But you know, I started really thinking to myself, like, maintenance is always a victory, and it is. But how do I conceptualize this? So whiteboard here. There it is. So here we have, and I'm telling you, I have been doodling this. An error occurred with the ISO recording, and it was stuck. I just got a weird message. All right. So we have ourselves our line chart here, right? And so here we have weight, and here we have time. All right. Let's move that up. There we go. So most of us our weight was doing this, right? In the past, our weight was going up. Now I know the weight was really doing more like this, right? Right. It was zigzagging its way up, but it was going up over a period of time is what the weight was doing. And so what most of us were seeking to do is go up, and then we just wanted to come down, and then we wanted to go flat. Which, of course, that didn't really work out very well, did it? How's that worked out for you? That didn't work out well for me. Have you tried this approach? If you've tried this approach, tell me in the chat where you were just like, I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to just shoot it down. I'm going to be flat, and then I'm going to be done. Like, just, if that's what you've ever tried. I tried it. It didn't work. What I realized, the better way to do it is actually to get here and then flatten it, and then very slowly bring it down. And realizing that this stage right here, this is a victory. So when I'm asking you, hey, did you go down and weight it all right now? Just because you didn't, that doesn't mean you're not progressing. That doesn't mean you're not kicking ass. If you're staying the same week in, week out, that's good. That is just as good as losing weight because we want to still have this section here where we're staying flat. So, but I know you want to lose some weight too. I know many people are focusing on that. So let's see, where are we at? Yeah, see, like, here we go. That's the right headspace. You're going down, maintaining. All right, let's see. Let's come back up. Let's see. Lost 2 pounds. You know what? Let's do some fun music for this while we're doing. All right. Lost 2 pounds. Okay. Not getting on the scale yet, but reconcile the fact that I'm not going to focus on the scale. I think it's good to sometimes not focus on the scale. I think it's a good choice sometimes. It's not always right to focus on it. Let's see. Hannah lost pounds. How many? Don't leave me hanging. Tell me how many. Carrie, 6 pounds. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to out Carrie a little bit here. Carrie is one of those that spent the first part of her journey doing the mindset work. And we talked about it, right? Carrie, you remember, I'm sure. We talked about like where it didn't feel like you were doing as good because it's so easy and tempting to compare yourself to everybody else that's losing weight, right? It's so easy and tempting to do. But it's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because the mindset work is important. I've been doing this for years, y'all. And what I've seen is you got to do the weight loss work, the practical application, and you got to do the mindset work. You got to do both. If you want to get the goal of becoming thin, healthy, happy, and in shape, all four of them, and keep it, you got to do the mindset work too. And so it's like, okay, some people do the mindset work first. Honestly, if you want my honest to goodness personal opinion, I think that's the better way. I just know most people aren't willing to do that, but I genuinely, truly, actually deeply believe, and I only believe it more after doing this for 6 years full time. I genuinely believe that the better way to do this is to not try to lose weight first and do all the mindset and emotional work first. Spend 6 months, 6 to 10 months getting your mind and your heart right and just fuck all the weight loss. Right? Just maintain your weight. You might lose a little bit as you go, but like, no, I'm getting my mind and my heart right. Because when you get your mind and your heart right, and then you sit down and start trying to lose weight, it is so much easier. Oh my gosh, it's so much easier. And it's way more fun. So much more fun. Oh, the coffee's gone. Oh wait, one more little bit. Damn it, now the coffee's gone. All right. Let's see. I've lost 5 pounds so far this month and been noticing so many non-scale changes. Well, I'm going to want to hear about some of those because we got non-scale victories coming up here in a bit. Let's see. Tracy. Good morning. Good morning, Tracy. Wanted to say thank you. You're welcome. We have changed of progress significantly. Hey, if you lost any weight, we're doing weight loss if you have. It's okay if you haven't. We got other wins coming, but Karen lost 0.5 pounds this month, but Karen's near the end, so that's actually really great. I remember having to work for a damn month to lose a half a pound. I was like, that's the hardest half pound I've ever lost. Yeah, it's brutal. John, scaled down 2 pounds this month. Dude, when we do the other wins earlier, I want you to come back around for that steps. We're going to celebrate that. Anybody else? Obviously had to do that first. That's right. See, look at that. See, Carrie did the mindset work first, down 96 pounds, so close to 100. Carrie, I'm so damn excited for you. You're about to hit 100 pounds. So excited for you. Oh, that's going to be so great. Oh, I'm so happy. Hannah, 5 pounds. There it is. Excellent. Love it. In the mindset part, getting everything in order and comparing it to the prequel of losing weight. Yeah, you're setting the scene. You're setting yourself up for success. Down 4 pounds in the last 30 days. Okay. Lost 7 pounds. Excellent. Not tracking calories. Just listen to your hunger. That's how I love that. Yes, Carrie, that's it. It is so much more joyful when you do the mindset work first. Yeah, Mona, you're exactly right. Your body totally may force you to do the mindset work if you don't. I mean, that's the thing. Like, no one gets out of the mindset work. But boy, there's a lot of folks that are like, well, maybe I don't have to be the one to do it. Maybe I can lose weight and not have to like sit and look at myself in the mirror and actually get my shit right in my brain and look at the uncomfortable. Nah, I mean, hey, you do you. If you find a way to do it, bless you. I didn't figure it out. Let's see. All right. Lost 20 pounds. Plantar fasciitis improved. Down 20 pounds. First 20 since December. Excellent. Great job, Tracy. Love hearing about all your victories, everybody. Love hearing about it. Here in a little bit, we're going to do victories. We'll do non-scale victories and celebrate those. Let's see. Cindy, you got a question here, a weight loss question. Can you talk about the dessert, please? How can I avoid it if I am full? Well, let's go back to the assumption. Why do you need to avoid it? I mean, if you're full, yeah, you're full. You already ate. But like, I think part of it is like, what if you just like want dessert? Like some people just like having dessert. And I don't know if there's anything wrong with wanting to have dessert. So what I do is if I know I'm going to want to have dessert, I just make sure to eat less and switch to dessert, right? You know, so I'm not full. I'm going to go ahead and have a little dessert. The other thing is not having the dessert around. I mean, that's a big one. If the dessert is there, it's hard to say no to something that's there. It's hard to say no to something that's there. Very, very hard. Very, very hard. This is just where it's like, I think, Cindy, we've talked a little bit. I think part of it is like, I would not be looking at food as good and bad. Like, I can't have dessert. I don't think there's anything wrong with having dessert. And even if you're just having a teeny tiny amount, sometimes it's easier to have a small amount and stop than it is to say you can't have any. Now, I know some people are like, no, that doesn't work. If I start, I'll never stop. And maybe. But I think like I would go back and challenge it. Like, are you making that statement because you don't trust yourself, right? I'm usually like, start learning to trust yourself. I don't know. Give me a scenario. It's sort of a broad question because I think the underlying assumption is I don't know that I would necessarily say you need to avoid dessert completely. That being said, yeah, weight loss can be hard if you're regularly having dessert. I mean, that is true. It can be a little trickier that way. So, yeah. Journaling has helped so much. Yeah. Journaling's a big game changer. Isn't this where phrases like save room dessert and don't spoil your dinner come from? Yeah. I mean, that's really where it is. Like, if you want dessert, just save room for it. I think the problem is many of us get into this place. I remember one time I was talking to a friend of mine. He was kind of relaying the thought process for how he'd approach food. And he's like, I'd pull up to Chick-fil-A. He's like, I want the spicy chicken sandwich or the regular chicken sandwich. He's like, why would I pick? I can fit both. And I was like, oh, yep, that was my logic too. Like, why pick? I'll shove both in there. And I knew somebody else like, yeah, I have a separate stomach for dessert. The ice cream fills all the cracks in. And so it's like, I think some of it is like we stop treating dessert like it's something special. And it's a different kind of food. It's much more neutral in general. Oh, fruit. Just have some fruit. I mean, now if it's like juiced or something, you're removing all the fiber, but like I regularly have an orange after dinner and I don't think twice about it. Yeah, I don't think twice about it. Fruit is very non-dense on calories. Like you can have a lot of strawberries for 150 calories, like a lot. And part of what we teach in the guild is right with the daily plan is like you can have a few hundred calories a day. You don't have to be hungry. You can just enjoy it. That's your fun food. I think it's good to have some fun food every day. I don't think that's bad. I don't think it's bad to let yourself have a little fun food every day. Personally, that's what I think anyway. Hey, for those of you that are new here that don't know, I would love to invite you to go check out my free weight loss program, the Becoming Thin Kickstart program. If you've done my Kickstart program or my 5-day challenge, let me know in the chat so others can hear about it. But it's totally free. You can register for that at becomingthin.com. It's totally free. It's a great program. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from people on it. And for those of you in the guild, you have your daily listening, which has been going on. I've been getting a ton of people that have been doing it, have been reaching out saying they like it. They're making it a part of their day, their morning to get their head right in the right space. I'm enjoying making it. As I'm making it, even I'm sitting there thinking like, man, this would have been like an amazing program for me to have on my journey. I'd have loved to have this program. So that's in your library as a guild. And then also in the guild, the Food Body Mind podcast is revived, and you're getting new episodes as well as old episodes as well. You're getting both. So definitely go check that out. That can give you stuff to listen to because the daily listening is not meant to be binged. It's meant to listen to just the day you're in. But I know you might be like, well, I want to keep my head in the game. So the Food Body Mind podcast is the one for you. And also, again, for those of you in the guild, starting today, we're experimenting with 15-minute meetings. We got 2 of them. You don't need to come to both. You can. It's okay. I'm going to make them different. But because we're going to experiment with doing these shorter meetings that people can escape their workday and come to. We've built up a big library of the long meetings, so if you need to watch stuff, like we don't really need to do as many long meetings anymore. And it's really sort of, it's not working well for people that have jobs they can't escape from. As well as in the evening, I want to do some in the evening, and it's hard to take an hour away from your family, but I think a lot of people can pull away for 15, 20 minutes. So right now I just have the ones in there today. We're going to throw the rest, I'm going to throw after the sessions today, once I do them and kind of experience them myself as well live. I have theories on how I think it's going to go, but then I'm going to drop more in, and I'm going to drop them at different time zones. So those of y'all, my European folks, which I don't know if any of y'all are here, that's going to help. That's going to help. So, oh, Lisa, yeah, join the guild. Yeah, welcome. I believe I saw you on the rosters there. So I need to quit my job and just listen and immerse myself in all the guild becoming thin, everything. Yeah. Well, we want to make it ideal where you can do both, unless the job is stressing you out, and that's getting in the way of doing things. So, all right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and put in the chat your wins, your non-scale victories. Let's go ahead and move to the celebration phase. So anything in the last 7 days that you did in the name of your goal, anything, doesn't matter what it was. Could be steps you took. It could be a sign of progress you saw. It does not need to be scale related. Just anything in the last 7 days. It's your chance to tap yourself on the head, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a humble brag, and say how good you did. And while you're getting that in the chat, I'm going to play a video. Which I do that sometimes. And so we're going to do that this time. All right. So let's, which one did we play? We'll play this one. Yeah. Is that the one I want to play? No, we'll play this one. I think I didn't play this one yet. All right, so we'll play this. Go ahead and put your victories, celebration, anything in the chat, right? This is your chance to celebrate, your chance to toot your own horn. We'll bring up the music. We'll celebrate together. We'll hoop and holler. You know, if you really kind of crush it, so we'll have some music playing. You know, and then if people really crush it, we'll get the applause, get the air horn, and then yeah. So go ahead and get those in the chat. We'll come back to them. I'm going to play this video clip, and we'll be right back. It's like just a short 1 minute or 1.5 minute video. So here it is. Let's talk about weight gain for a second. Let's just get real about it, because we all know this, but sometimes we got to just call something out obvious. So I prepared this little chart here. We have weight, we have time. Most of you, your body weight was doing this over time. It was going up. I'm aware that it actually looked like this. I'm aware. So your lifestyle, habits, routines, environment, community, belief systems included yo-yo dieting. Like that was a part of it. A part of your weight gaining strategy for many of you, and it was for me, included losing weight. I needed to lose weight so that I could reinforce the bad behaviors that caused me to gain the weight again. This is really important to understand, because sometimes a person comes to the guild, and some of y'all, you are new here. You're still coming here to try to learn how to diet in a healthy way. I ain't trying to help you diet. That's not what we're here to do at all. That's not going to work. Like, this is what dieting does. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We're all just hoping we're just going to get the big down and then it flattens out. But what would make that happen? What would cause that kind of change to occur? Your body, as I said, is a byproduct of behavioral patterns. Your body is a byproduct of behavioral patterns. And it's vital that you become adept at spotting your own behavioral patterns. Are you ready? It's time to start celebrating. It's time to hoop and holler and get excited. So let's change let's bring it up the celebration time. There we go. It's time to celebrate with you. Let's scroll back up. So this is your chance. Put in the chat anything you did in the name of your goal. Anything. I don't care. No victory too big, no victory too small. The whole point is to celebrate. One victory counts as one victory. So let's go up here to the top. There we go. Kicking things off with Melanie. I took 10,000 steps. Fantastic. Fantastic. You know what? We're going to let you kick us in with the applause, with my fake applause of the audience that's here. Excellent job there, Melanie. Hannah hit my goal weight. Excellent. Hitting goal weight. So now I'm starting my maintenance journey. Let's see. Hitting a goal weight, that definitely gets amazing. Great job, Hannah. Tell us, what was your goal weight? Just said let us know. How much did you lose? Tell us in the chat. Good morning. Walk with my sister for 40 minutes. Excellent getting a 40-minute walk in. Carrie, 10-mile bike ride. I remember when you got your bike. I was so happy that you're still doing it. 1,000 yards swim. 1,000 yards swim. And a short jog. The win is that I listened to my body and stopped jogging when I felt like my femur was going to snap in two. That's right. Don't overdo it. That can cause damage. All right. Went in my 10-day vacation and came back in my window. Danny has lost all his weight and Danny's in maintenance. So that is a massive victory when you go on vacation and you keep the weight off. Massive victory. Nancy. Consistently for a month now, swimming 3 times a week. This week I'm officially doing a half mile each time. Excellent. Swimming is awesome. I love swimming. It's such a great workout. Swimming's excellent for weight loss, actually. Swimming is very, very good for weight loss. Let's see. David got back to playing pickleball after having to miss for several weeks due to an eye surgery. Falling down, getting back up. Where is it? Oh, wait, no, the music. Everything happened at once. Where's my love it? There it is. I love it. Love it, David. Getting back up after you fall down. That's how you do it. Let's see here. Again, everybody, put your wins in the chat. No victory too big, no victory too small. Every victory is worthy of celebration here. Fiona, exercise 3 times and average over 11,000 steps a day last week. 11,000 steps? Fantastic, Fiona. Michael Stern, yesterday walked 25,000 steps. Holy smokes, that's a lot of steps. That's a lot of steps in a day. Have you done that before? Imagine you have. That's really good. Red Devil Girl 68. All right, stop the GLP-1, making a change in strategy, and really listening to hunger. How's that hunger being after coming off that, right? You feeling it? I know a lot of people, they talk about how they really feel it when they come off those. Let's see. John steps up from 8,000 to 8,000 from 3,000. Resist the pizza at bedtime. Told the cookie jar to shut up as it was calling me. Wonderful. Let's see. You know what? Let's bring up the good one. Is it this one? No. I want this one. I love the clap. All right. Let's keep going. Non-scale victory. I noticed this week when I tie my shoes, I don't have to hold my breath anymore. Oh my gosh, I love that one. I remember that one so much because I had to hold my breath too when I put on my shoes. It was so nice to putting on my shoes and socks is a non-issue. Oh, I hated it. That is an amazing feeling. Excellent. Oh, that's good. All right, average 14,000 steps a day after being so sick. Realize I've been taking my health for granted. Isn't it funny how sometimes we got to lose something to miss something? But good job getting back up after you fall back down. Resisted a plate of brownies placed right in front of me. Chose salad and a few homemade meatballs, same sitting. Okay, resisting temptation when placed in front of you unexpectedly. I dig. Kate. Challenged myself to run a mile every morning for 30 days. Just completed 6 out of 30. Well, keep us posted how that goes. Keep us posted. I love a good physical challenge like that. Those can be fun. Good for toughening the mind. Cooked at home instead of eating out and enjoying the meals more. Wonderful. Changing up that food routine. You'll notice you start eating different when you don't eat out as much. Showed up and worked out this morning at the 5 a.m. club. Brooke. Got my run in after work even though I didn't want to. Facing a big decision I've been avoiding for years. Yeah, you are. Maintain my step count consistently for 4 weeks, as well as my runs 3 times a week. Wonderful. Good job, Brooke. Have several empty journals. I actually wrote in one on Friday. Yes. Love it when a person picks up journaling and tries it. Oh, you did the daily prompt. Okay. Wonderful. It's good. We can do the air, not our air horn. I'm kind of wearing out the air horn of my own eardrums. I need some new sound effects. All right, lost 25 kg in 7 years. Hold on, I need to do math. What's the math? Let's see, 25.2. So 25.2 times 2.2, 55.4 pounds. Excellent work, Hannah. Oh, where'd my music go? Hold on. There we go. We're all with that. All right. You know what? Now we can do it again. We can do the air horn. Good job, Hannah. Good job, Hannah. Keep those celebrations coming. Saw the loss of control threshold coming this week. I knew how taxing it was going to be and was able to pivot and be proactive. I'm making much better choices in how I talk to myself. Oh man, now that one I especially love when we start changing our inner narrative, our inner rhetoric, and how we talk to ourselves. Really happy for you, that one. Went to bed before 12 a.m. all week, including the weekend. Keeping a consistent schedule. Wonderful. Your body's going to be very happy. 0 bread at Texas Roadhouse. Holy shit. That's actually really hard. That's difficult. Taking care of sleep a bit more. Wonderful. Cindy. Let's start blitzing through them here. Just beginning, but I'm already losing. Good job, Deborah. Took my recommitment to a level of effort. Wonderful. Let's see if we got any more. All right. We got all them victories in. Y'all, thanks so much for coming here and celebrating your victories with us. Letting us know how good you did. I love giving you all a chance to humble brag and toot your own horn. Because, when we're on this journey, we have all these little moments, these little things we do that unless you've been on the journey, unless you walk this path, you just don't always realize just how other people don't always get it, like how big it is. Like when somebody offers you a donut and you're just like, no, I'm not going to take that. And you're like, and then some people are like, why? It's just a donut. It's not a big deal, which, right. It's true. It's fine. You can have a donut, but it's like, yeah, but it's like for some of us, it's like, but I always take the donut. Like I never say no. Like sometimes it's important that I just said no, just to prove to myself that I could say no. So yeah, the Texas bread, right? Like there are some things it's like, it's just a big deal to say no to it, that we did it. So good job, everybody. I'm really excited for you. Really excited for all the progress you've made for yourself. Oh, hold on. I forgot my book. I was going to read from a book. You know what? Let's play another video clip while I go get my book in the other room. So choose file. Here we go. I like this one. I'll be right back. Fuck it. Yes. I am one of those individuals that wakes up every day and goes, I'm going to strive today towards perfection. But I have no expectation of actually hitting it. And if I do, I know it's because it was a fluke and it was just for a passing moment. Perfection, I just don't dig it. When I used to chase it, I never, accomplished it, but when I didn't get it, I would beat myself up in my head because I was committed to an outcome, but I was committed to doing it without failure. A deep, committed decision within yourself is best paired with a commitment next to it of, I will not quit. Having this commitment around quitting. Now, you got to understand the psychology of quitting, though. Quitting is this whole thing. A lot of people, they talk so much about, like, how do I stay motivated? I'm going to start this weight loss journey. And it's like, yeah, I'm committed to doing it. How does every weight loss journey end? 100% of them, all of them end with one thing. Do you know what it is? Quitting. They all end with quitting. They all end with you quitting. Quitting is something we need to have a deep understanding of. When do you quit? How do you quit? When should you not quit? How do you know if the signal to quit is something you should listen to or something that you should ignore? How much time have you spent really thinking about the concept of quitting? A lot of times we won't do something unless we think it'll be perfect. And so I think it is important that not only do you commit to a destination, you commit to how you're going to get there. Sometimes we get so focused on what it is we want, but we do it with this perfectionistic mindset that I have to be perfect. I got to get everything just right. Here's the thing. Here's how I feel about perfection. It's this. Fuck perfection. Yeah, screw perfection. All right. So I have gotten into reading a lot different things, so many people know I'll talk about, like, I love Alan Watts. A lot of people know that, or I love like Eckhart Tolle and stuff. And I was recently introduced to Mary Oliver, whom I have been greatly enjoying. And I just picked up this book over the weekend. And there was something I read in here, and I was like, I have not been able to stop thinking about it. I have not been able to stop thinking about it. And I thought I would read it here, some part of it. So this will be a little bit more reading than I typically do. But I think there's something really important here. She's talking about creative work, and I very much began to believe on my journey that a weight loss journey is actually an act of creation. It's a big act of creation. You're not just creating a new body, which, yes, you are, but you're creating a new life. You're creating a new lifestyle. You're creating new routines. You're creating new habits. You're creating a new environment. You're creating a new community, and many times you're creating new beliefs. A weight loss journey is a big, gigantic act of creation. And you'll find that when you get into a creative space, it helps alleviate stress in your life. I was having a conversation with somebody last night. We've actually talked about this a few times, about how stress can be alleviated by just engaging in a creative act. And she said that, just getting up, making a peanut butter sandwich is an act of creation. Getting up and cleaning your floor is an act of creation. You're creating a clean floor. And I actually really, really agree. I deeply agree with that notion. Creativity is really important. And so in this right here, which is just some essays from Mary Oliver, whom I've also been reading her poetry, and her poetry is phenomenal. She's talking in here about these different parts of ourselves, and she's talking about creation. And I've really come to see that in ourselves, the key to becoming our new body, our new life, is we have to create the new us in the day you're in. Like, you can't act tomorrow until tomorrow is here today. Like, today is the future. Like, today is the day that you said you would do something yesterday. Today is the day you said you'd do something a year ago. Today is the day. Today is someday. 5 years ago when you said, someday I'm going to deal with this problem in my life. Today is someday. Today, right now. And if you don't do it today and you're like, well, next week is someday. Well, it's going to feel like today. It'll always be the you of a present moment that makes the changes in your life that gets the new results that you're looking for. It'll always be the you of a present moment. And the best way to have a great tomorrow is to have a great today. Maxwell Waltz talks in Psycho-Cybernetics about living in day-tight compartments, looking neither forward nor backwards beyond a 24-hour cycle. And I've actually been shifting my coaching to really lean into this. That's why I'm doing the daily listening part of things. It's like, because we have to keep our mind in the day we're in. And so often, many of us were so conditioned with weight loss to try to plan everything out and out and out into the future. And so she says here, but realizing, like, within our minds, we're different us's. In this book, Alan Watts is talking about it between I and me. But Mary Oliver approached it in an interesting way. So I'm going to read this. I am myself 3 selves at least, to begin with. There is the child I was. Certainly, I am not that child anymore. Yet, distantly, or sometimes not so distantly, I can hear that child's voice. I can feel its hope or its distress. It has not vanished. Powerful, egotistical, insinuating, its presence arises in memory or from the steamy river of dreams. It is not gone, not by a long shot. It is with me in the present hour, and it will be with me in the grave. Right? We have this child version of us. How many people we talk about, like, we have this weird behaviors around food that we picked up as a kid. We have these reactions that we have to things that are happening around us that we picked up as a kid. It's really fascinating to see how that happens, right? That we see that we are, in fact, still living by the influences of things that happened to us as children. That child self of us is there, and it can trigger our emotions that we experience in the here and the now. And we can't get rid of it. And I think that's the problem, is when we resist it, we struggle, and we're trying to get rid of that younger child self. It's hard, and it creates problems. But when we instead say, no, this self is here, it's not going anywhere, now we can begin to accept it and learn to work with it. Continuing on. And there is the attentive social self. This is the smiler and doorkeeper. This is the portion that winds the clock, that steers through the dailiness of life, that keeps in mind appointments that must be made and then met. It is fettered with 1,000 notions of obligation. It moves across the hours of the day as though the movement itself were the whole task. Whether it gathers it as it goes some branch of wisdom or delight, or nothing at all, is a matter with which it is hardly concerned. What this self hears day and night, what it loves beyond all other songs, is the endless springing forward of the clock, those measures strict and vivacious and full of certainty. The clock, that 12-figured moon skull, that white spider belly. How serenely the hands move with their fingers, with their filigree pointers, and how steadily. 12 hours and begin again. Eat, speak, sleep, cross a street, wash a dish. The clock is still ticking. All its vistas are just so broad, are regular. Notice that word, regular. Every day, 12 little bins in which to order disorderly life, and even more disorderly thought. The town's clock cries out, and the face on every wrist hums or shines. The world keeps pace with itself. Another day is passing, a regular and ordinary day. Notice that word also, ordinary. Say you have bought a ticket on an airplane and you intend to fly from New York to San Francisco. What do you ask the pilot when you climb aboard and take your seat next to the little window, which you cannot open, but through which you see dizzying heights to which you are lifted from the secure and friendly earth? Most assuredly, you want the pilot to be his regular and ordinary self. You want him to approach and undertake his work with no more than calm pleasure. You want nothing fancy, nothing new. You ask him to do routinely what he knows how to do, fly an airplane. You hope he will not daydream. You hope he will not drift into some interesting meander of thought. You want this flight to be ordinary, not extraordinary. So, too, with the surgeon and the ambulance driver and the captain of the ship. Let all of them work as ordinarily they do, in confident familiarity with whatever the work requires and no more. Their ordinariness is the surety of the world. Their ordinariness makes the world go round. I, too, live in this ordinary world. I was born into it. Indeed, most of my education was intended to make me feel comfortable with it. Why that enterprise failed is another story. Such failures happen, and then, like all things, are turned into the world's benefit. Not for the world, for the world has a need of dreamers as well as shoemakers. So, kind of getting where I think, to read this, like it's talking about this second side of us that's serving time, serving life. And we get so swept up in this second version of ourselves, always doing and doing and doing and doing and doing it right and doing it precisely. And how do I fit in and how do I do things exactly perfect? And it creates this pressure, but it also causes us, if we're not careful, to be completely engrossed in the doings of life that we forget to stop and dream. We forget to stop and think about the life we could be living. We stop and we so rarely sometimes stop and just ponder our own life, our own existence. What have I been doing? What do I want to be doing? Where do I want to be living? How could I be making changes? With the technology of the day and age, we're always constantly being pulled and distracted, and our mind is constantly being sucked in from one thing to the next. Eckhart Tolle talks about how thinking is actually the number one addiction of the world. We're addicted to thinking. We become completely captivated by it and identified with it, with the thinking mind. And the whole world around us is constantly trying to keep the thinking mind engaged. Just mainlining content, just like I'm doing here with you. The irony is not lost on me of what I do for a living. that I use the very tool that I think could be difficult, can be destructive to the human mind. I use the very tool in an attempt to help you find the same thing I did. Turn off the screen and go out and touch some grass. Stop trying to be so perfect. Stop trying to be everything to everyone. And start sometimes just being you. Sometimes stop and ponder that this is your life that you're living. You're the main character in your life, and everyone else is the main character in theirs. Make sure that you are living the life of your dreams. Somewhere along the way, we end up pursuing a life to make everybody else happy. Constantly being swept up in wondering what other people think. Waiting to start living for fear of disappointing somebody else. And this leads to the urge to try to control things. One of the things that we try to do is seek to control something that won't affect anybody else. And we take things out on our body. We control our food. We let our appetites be met. We don't take care of our hearts. We stay in relationships too long. We stay in jobs too long. We stay in homes too long. We don't fix the problems in our life. You know, right here, you just said, are most people perfectionists? It is quite possibly. Look, I have stood in front of many a room and talked to many a person, and you can basically cold read and assume that most people, unless they've actively worked to let go of perfectionism, most people do struggle with it. It is very much the human condition. But not everybody. I mean, some people don't struggle with it. There are people, but I don't meet them very often. They are very much the exception to the rule. And this isn't like from work. This is like all the time, my whole life. But I think it's like part of learning how to break free from our old self is we can't use that side of ourselves that's always analytical and always serving. We're trying to micromanage every little part, because to lose weight and keep it off, you have to create a new life. You have to create a new life. And this second version of ourselves and the child version of ourselves is not well suited for such an endeavor. It's not well suited for it. Because you have to look at the thing that always has been and go, maybe I could be something else. If I let go of this thing that's been in my life for so long, what would take its place? I wonder what I could create to put there. The thing is, like, let's say you're in the wrong relationship. You can't get into the right relationship if the wrong relationship is still there. Let's say you're in the wrong job. You can't have the right job until you let go of the wrong one. But sometimes we get so worried about so many different things it causes us to stay stuck. We look around the world and everybody's trying to do the same thing, this ordinary world. Let's continue on here. The world has need of dreamers as well as shoemakers. Not that it is so simple. In fact, for what the shoemaker does not occasionally thump his thumb when his thoughts have, as we would say, wandered. And when the old animal body clamors for attention, what daydreamer does not now and again have to step down from the daydream and hurry to market before it closes, or else go hungry? And this is also true in creative work of all kinds. Those who are the world's working artists are not trying to help the world go round but forward, which is something altogether different from ordinary. Such work does not refute the ordinary. It is simply something else. That's what I'm talking about. Your life. If you want to get a new body, you have to create a new life. Create a new life. You have to stop trying to make your world go round, but instead make your world go forward. If you look to your life, you'll see that it is this repetition of the same old pattern. Some patterns repeat themselves over days, some over hours, some over months, some over years. But it's just this repeating pattern again and again and again and again and again. My weight gain had a predictable pattern. I'd start the year off trying to lose some weight. And I might lose some, sometimes a lot, sometimes a little, and then I would stop. And then I would try again in the spring. And then I would stop come the summer and accept my fate, picking it up again in the early fall. Now's a good time, I'd say. Trying to lose a little bit more weight until, of course, the holiday season is upon us. and then I would stop and I'd gain some weight again, ending the year higher than I was at the beginning, only to begin the pattern again. To get results I'd never had before, I was going to have to do things I'd never done before, so I was going to have to change my pattern and go a new path. I had to create a new one, and that's where I think of the old classic poem, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. You see, you come through life and you're constantly faced with the same fork in the road. And we see the well-worn path that we've always traveled down. Yeah, it's not what we wanted, but we know it's down there. And we choose a familiar captivity over an unfamiliar freedom much of the time. Because just like you just said here, chances are often scary. It does. But it also requires imagination. What could be down that path not traveled all the time? What could be waiting down there for me? Such work does not refute the ordinary. It is simply something else. Its labor requires a different outlook, a different set of priorities. Certainly there is within each of us a self that is neither a child nor a servant of the hours. It is the third self, occasional in some of us, tyrant in others. This self is out of love with the ordinary. It is out of love with time. It has a hunger for eternity. Intellectual work sometimes, spiritual work certainly, artistic work always. These are forces that fall within its grasp, forces that must travel beyond the realm of the hour and the restraint of the habit. Nor can the actual work be well separated from the entire life. Like the knights of the Middle Ages, there is little the creatively inclined person can do but prepare himself, body and spirit, for the labor to come. For his adventures are all unknown. In truth, the work itself is the adventure. And no artist could go about this work, or would want to, with less than extraordinary energy and concentration. When I first started coaching, a guy scheduled a discovery call with me, and he said something to me that was pretty interesting. As soon as I got on the call with the guy, I could tell he had no interest in working with me. He just wanted to talk with me, which is fine. That happens. And the person was figuring it out on themselves. And the person was trying to basically see if he was on the right path. And he said, Chris, it seems like the way you were able to get here is you fell in love with the process of losing weight. And I sat there. Nobody had ever said that to me before. And I'd never thought such a simple phrase. And I sat there and I was like, yeah, you're right. I did. The reason why I was able to lose the weight, the reason why I was able to transform my life is because I fell in love with the process of getting here. I fell in love with the creative process. I fell in love with the iterative process of my own life. I fell in love with destroying what always had been just to see what I could put in its place. And then if that didn't work, destroy that too and put something else in its place. I fell in love with letting go of things to see what great things could take its place, because I began to realize my fears saying that whatever's going to take the place of what I just let go was going to be worse. I began to realize my fears were wrong. Usually, when I let go of something, something better took its place. Not always, but most of the time. But because I was good at letting go now, if something worse took its place, I'd be like, let go of that. And then I'd hang, oh, that's good, hang on to that. Oh, it's not good, let it go. And then the next good thing. My fear of letting go was keeping me stuck. I fell in love with the process. And that's what you got to do. This new life that you want, you got to fall in love with the process of creating this new life. It is an act of creation. You will not get there by using your intellectual logical brain, because your intellectual logical brain isn't going to know everything. It's going to need too much certainty, too much security of what's going to happen that the clock provides. But the creative mind doesn't need all that certainty. It needs possibility. That's all it needs. And that's what I like that she talks about here. No artist could go about this work, or want to, with less than extraordinary energy and concentration. The extraordinary is what art is about. Neither is it possible to control or regulate the machinery of creativity. One must work with the creative powers, for not to work with it is to work against. In art, as in spiritual life, there is no neutral place, especially at the beginning. There is a need of discipline as well as solitude and concentration. A writing schedule is a good suggestion to make to young writers, for example. Also, it is enough to tell them. Would one tell them so soon the whole truth that one must be ready at all hours and always, that the ideas in their shimmering forms, in spite of all our conscious discipline, will come when they will, and on the swift upheaval of their wings, disorderly, reckless, and as unmanageable sometimes as passion. When you set off on the journey of becoming yourself, which is really a journey of letting go of yourself, and you move on the journey of working through your emotional eating, which is really largely, in fact, for many of us about emotional healing, you begin to realize that you will have to work on you. And you will have to take in new ideas and just take in new ideas. How could I be living? What new life could I be having? And you just start taking in the ideas. And then the idea of what to do, the click, the aha moment will just show up when it shows up. Many of us are trying to schedule it. Every Monday morning, I'll know how to solve my week. And that's a fine idea to get started. But those of us that have been on the journey for a while know that's not how it works. That's not how it works. The epiphanies of what to do to solve your life show up when they show up. They show up when they show up. And you must be ready to act at a moment's notice. If you're trying to schedule the breakthroughs, you'll always be disappointed when they don't show up on your schedule. But when you allow the epiphanies and the ahas to show up and you take action in the moment it arrives in your mind, and you have the courage to sit down and pull out a journal and write down a thought, a realization when it shows up, a truth about yourself, a truth about your life, a truth about a problem, your life will start changing. When you find yourself willing to act, when your brain says, I know what to do. I need to do this. This is the action I must take. I must let go of this thing. I know the answer. I must do it. I must take that leap of faith. That is your creative mind saying, take the leap of faith on yourself. Trust yourself. Creation is an iterative process. The next move is unlikely to be the last move. The next move is simply just the next move. And on the other side of that is another one. And on the other side of that is another one. And on the other side of that is another one. But if you allow your creative mind to dream of an amazing future, you'll begin to realize these steps are each taking you closer and closer and closer and closer towards that future that you're wanting. But if you live out of that second mind, needing time to work, needing certainty, needing to know when things are going to happen on schedule, you'll often find yourself disappointed because your life's not going to progress that way. It hasn't ever, has it? It hasn't ever, has it? I don't know about you, but I know when I look around my life right now, which I absolutely fucking love. I love my life. My life it's the dream life. It's been the dream life for a long time. At every moment, it's been the dream life. But when I look around, I'm like, I love this life. And I can go back in time to my mind, to that child mind at 17 years old, sitting down, planning out this future, knowing what's going to happen, only to be in my mid-20s going like, what the fuck happened? This life is not at all going according to plan. And then waiting up again at 37 going, what the fuck happened? It's still not going according to plan. Until finally at 39 going like, fuck the plan. No more plans. Just walking. I'm in the woods of life, metaphorically speaking. Just go. Just live. Because all there is the here and the now. That's all there is. And I'm making decisions and choices. Has your life gone according to a plan? The life that you're at right now. It ain't gone according to plan, has it? Think back at the last 12 months. The last 12 months of your life. Think of your most precious moments. The moments that you're like, I am so incredibly grateful they happened. I'm willing to bet most of them were spontaneous and unplanned. Maybe issues and situations and circumstances around them maybe were planned, but I'm willing to bet a lot of them weren't. When I think back just to the last 3 months of my life, the most prized moments of my life were completely and totally unplanned and unknown. They just simply arrived. And there they were. These beautiful moments of living. But it's because the creative process of life. When I kept trying to schedule everything and make everything happen according to a plan, not allowing any spontaneity, I didn't get these moments as much. But when I let go, things started to change. No one yet has made a list of places where the extraordinary may happen and where it may not. Still, there are indications Among crowds and drawing rooms, among easements and comforts and pleasures, it is seldom seen. It likes the out of doors. It likes the concentrating mind. It likes solitude. It is more likely to stick to the risk taker than the ticket taker. It isn't that it would disparage comforts or set routines of the world, but that its concern is directed to another place. Its concern is the edge and the making of a form out of the formless that is beyond the edge. Of this, there can be no question. Creative work requires a loyalty as complete as the loyalty of water to the force of gravity. A person trudging through the wilderness of creation who does not know this, who does not swallow this, is lost. He who does not crave that roofless place eternity should stay at home. Such a person is perfectly worthy and useful and even beautiful, but is not an artist. Such a person had better live with timely ambitions and finished work formed for the sparkle of the moment only. Such a person had better go off and fly an airplane. There is a notion that creative people are absent-minded, reckless, heedless of social customs and obligations. It is, hopefully, true, for they are in another world altogether. It is a world where the third self is governor. Neither is the purity of art the innocence of childhood, if there is such a thing. One's life as a child, with all its emotional rages and ranges, is but grass for the winged horse. It must be chewed well in those savage teeth. There are irreconcilable differences between acknowledging and examining the fabulations of one's past and dressing them up as though they were adult figures, fit for art, which they never will be. The working, concentrating artist is an adult who refuses interruption from himself, who remains absorbed and energized in and by the work, who is thus responsible to the work. No one is coming to save you. The work of creating the life of your dreams can only be done by you. No one else. No one. Your dream life is an act of creation, and there is only but one artist that can create it. Only one. You. The world is your canvas. Your mind is your paintbrush. What are you going to paint? What are you going to do? When you make a mistake, are you going to take the Bob Ross approach, call it a happy accident, integrate it into the scene? Or are you going to get all mad that you made a mistake? Whoops, put a little bit of black there. Now it's a happy bird. Or are you going to sit there and go, oh, I ruined it. It's not perfect, but it is our flaws that make us who we are. Are you going to try to be the next somebody else? Or are you going to try to be the first you? Are you going to be willing to let somebody else dislike you so that you can love you? Or are you going to continue to wait to live the life of your dreams for fear of disappointing somebody else who is equally paralyzed, staying stuck, commanded by time, by duty, by obligation? Not that there's anything wrong with these things. The world does indeed need to go round and round. We need all of us doing the things of life. I spent the first part of my entire adult life working in commercial cleaning. I spent my days ensuring that a building, a 20-story building, with all its workers that are going to come back the next day needing a clean building to do their work. Clean bathrooms, empty trash, clear glass, sparkling faucets, dust-free picture frames. All this so people could have a space to do their work, to make the world go round. Both were just as important, but in a different way. I spent my days counting seconds. How can I shave 2 seconds off of a mirror? Cleaning it. Why? Because I have 500 mirrors to clean. How can I shave 10 seconds off of each trash can? We've got 10,000 to take out, don't you know? That adds up. There was nothing wrong with this pursuit because the world needed it. But But if we're not careful, we end up making that the entire part of our world. And maybe we have to pay our dues. Maybe we have to pay a season or two of our life to society, to being a parent, to being a worker, a manager, a leader, a follower, to help keep the world going round. But it's okay to also go, but what about my life? What about me? It's okay. It's okay to go, I think I'm done consuming other people's creations for a while. I think it's time to go make my own. I think it's time to stop letting other things cause me to feel excited and the dopamine hit. And maybe I'm going to let my own life give it to me. All right, I got to go, everybody. Good to see you.